basically like everything that I was thinking about relates to experiences being had in COVID right now, like during this global pandemic. Some of them are more on the abstract level, like they're things that might you might relate to, you might not, or it might be a bit of a stretch. But that's basically how I put the collection for this set together. Just the idea that all these things like should tie into experiences being had out there right now. So with that being said, I will get into it. I've sort of broken up my set into like three chunks. We'll see how that goes. So here we are. You're my love, and you're my love. I'm setting you free. I'm setting you free. You're my love, and you're my love, and you're my love, and you're my love. I'm setting you free. I'm setting you free. All right, next one. All those willows, all those willows, all those willows, where do they go? That one's kind of like has to do with connection to nature and maybe like it's mostly about a seasonal pass. But I feel like it could also relate to people that maybe aren't getting a chance to spend as much time outside. Okay, this next one is called Human. It's my earlier songs. I included it on a new EP I just put out, which is just old recordings. Here it is. Hold on, I gotta remember stuff. um, okay, let's do it. I exist, I am a human, 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 human. That one feels like it lines up with a lot of the stuff that was being talked about in like George's introduction and what Eliza was saying as well. Alyssa, did I get that right? Anyways, okay, so moving on. There's a lot of performers today. Everyone's got their own take. That's kind of what this song's about. Also, stuff to do while you're cooped up inside. My art, my art, my art. My art, my art, my art. They have always seen the light. They have always seen the light. My art, my art, my art. My art, my art. Kind of forgot how one ended. All right, so next up, time to take a break. Food time, food time, food time, food time, food time, for time. Uh, so I often make sandwiches, and I buy ham, and then I try to like last it for a week. But I had this one song. It was about ham, but then I changed the word to hum. You'll see. I'm being generous with my hum. I'm not a one to wonder why. I'm being generous with my hum. I'm not a one to wonder why. All right, time for a little cleanup. Floor getting dirty over here, ding ding ding. 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 Floor getting dirty, floor getting dirty over here, ding 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 ding. Okay, so that was like the first part of the set. Usually I don't actually perform that long. We're 9 minutes in. I think I even started a little late, so probably not even that much. Yeah, like 30 minutes is a lot of time, but I felt like I could add a few more like songs that I probably wouldn't normally do. Um, a lot of these songs are like, I don't know if you're familiar, but I basically recorded singing to myself, and then I'm like recreating those songs here. I try to keep a pretty low bar in terms of like process of like which ones I'll select. I don't want to, uh, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of nice to just like give things their space. Also, yeah, this is, I'm an amateur, but I've been at it for years. Um, all right, so I will get into this one. I recently revisited this song and thought it was like especially appropriate for the situation, just like feelings that are possibly being had. So I will get into it. It's a different life and it's a different world. A lot of little people with nowhere to go. It's a different life and it's a different world. A lot of little people with nowhere to go. And yet somehow I'm doing okay. Trying to work a little, get a little bit paid. And yet somehow I'm doing okay. Not sure yet where I'll end up or stay. That was that one. Um, Next one also, it's not that long, but it's one I don't do that often. It's called Hang In for the Day. I'm hanging for a day. I'm trying to be this way. It's all a sudden show, and here I am to bear all my soul, hanging for today. All right. Um, okay, this one I've done a few times. You might be bored at home. This song could be for you. Just you and your fiddle. Just you and your fiddle. Stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle of an empty home, of an empty home, stuck in the middle, just you and your fiddle, in an empty home. That's that. All right, so that was second bit. Got a handful left. Uh, no, not a ham. You might have a ham sandwich, a big part of the scenario. Um, uh, yeah, so I mean, I'm only, Georgia, did you want to kind of chat about stuff in the middle, or should we chat after?
Yeah, I'm totally here for how you want to do things. So I could ask you 1,000 questions right now, or we could just get to that at the end. And also, I'm very happy in the Q&A function to receive questions from the audience and try to answer them live with you here. So I'll just let everyone
Okay,
know about that, and you can tell me if you're ready for it, or maybe,
cool. Well, yeah,
oh,
why don't we put that out there and
yeah.
then at the end, because it's probably going to take a little bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, everyone, there should be at the bottom of your screen, well, somewhere on your screen, a Q&A box that you can type questions into, and I'm going to monitor that while Drew's doing his thing. And then at the end, we'll try to answer the ones that we want to live like this with our voices. Okay?
Cool. All right, so I'm going to jump into the last stretch here. Um, I I was going to put this out there to begin with so it's clear. I'm not a father, but that's sort of the idea of this song. Son, I used to be with your mum. Son, I used to be with your mum. Son, 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 I used to be with your mum, 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 mum. Son, 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 I used to be with your mum, 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 mum. Um, you know that feeling you're just like waiting around all the time? I've been waiting all of my days. I really like this album that Ursula Le Guin put out or came out like 2 years ago that she had collaborated this guy Will Barton, I think his name was, and they kind of like make up language in it, and in some ways like music is a language that maybe most people don't understand, and like I don't really understand, but I'm trying to like tap into it here a bit. La di da ooh ah ooh ah. 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 Ooh ah ooh ah. I didn't really know how that one was supposed to end, so I just always do that. Okay, so this one is a bit more somber. It was written kind of like with the intention of like recognizing like social injustice issues in America, but then also like given the situation where America is being affected so heavily right now by COVID-19, I thought this song felt appropriate as well. Here it is. Oh, here in America, I know, I know. Oh, here in America, I know, I know. All right. Got a couple left. I know where I'll go. I know where I'll go on my own again. On my own again. And the last one. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. Oh, I'm going in. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Drew. That was delightful. Just really, really wonderful to hear. Um, so I want to check now. I don't have any specific questions from the audience, but I just figured I would ask you some stuff.
Okay, yeah.
What we have 10 minutes here. We can probably run through a lot of questions or just chat. Um, but I'm super curious about what drew you to this format of singing and songwriting. Like songwriting, I would call them micro songs. I don't know if you have another word that you prefer, but what do you like about this? What made you want to do it?
So I don't have a lot of background in music, like any kind of training. I think I learned like the recorder maybe in like grade three, but I don't think I was like really paying attention. I don't have any background, but I've been very drawn to music in my life. Like it's something that I've actually like ended up working in a bunch and just like really involved in like a number of kind of operational like organizational capacities. And I think over the years, like I knew that there was like a sense that I was very connected to music, but I was like very limited in terms of how I could access music because I had a lack of training. And like I think also it's just like lately I have been maybe like thinking like, oh, like I could just learn, right? Like there's ways like to educate yourself and like learn these things. But I was kind of thinking that like I was just thinking like, oh, I just want to be able to approach this without um, really, uh, yeah, like sort of just on my own terms. Um, and I think having an iPhone around that had the voice memo was handy. I started just by making kind of weird sounds in that voice recorder, and realized that like that technology right there was like enough for me to start like playing into this style.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the things that I find so interesting about the way that you've composed these songs because you're